My name's Norman Beaker. We're from Manchester in England, Manchester United fan of course. Play guitar with many people for many years, mainly on blues concerts.
I'm John Price. I'm the bass player with the Norman Beaker Band, and we're playing here in Novi Sad tonight.
My name's Steve Gibson, and I'm lucky enough to play with the drums in the Norman Beaker Band. I'm playing a long time, played different styles and stuff like that, and now I'm here in Novi Sad playing tonight in this place.
When did you start to play drums?
Well, probably when I was about 16. My dad plays drums, so I kind of carried on.
That's family business.
Tradition. Yeah. So a long time now, over 20 years. Way over 20 years now, probably, yeah.
I first started to play guitar when I was 7 years old. I'd like to say that was 10 years ago, but that's not true.
You played together in Norman Beaker Band for 20 years, right?
For 25 years, I think it is. Yeah, it's quite a long time now. Yeah, man and boy, as we say in England. Yeah, we've played all kinds of stuff over the years, and it's been a pleasure playing with Norman for that time. We've done a lot of travelling, and it's certainly been nice visiting Serbia this time. It's been lovely.
How everything starts? When did you create your first band?
Well, the first band was at school, really, and it was quite good. It was because it wasn't like it is today. It wasn't such a business. It was just fun. It was friends getting together, just making music just for fun. And then gradually you got more and more asked to do gigs, and before you know, we were playing a lot, playing all the time.
I read that you was collaborating with Van Morrison and Eric Burdon.
Yes, I've certainly played with both of those people. Yeah. Me and Norman toured with Van Morrison for a long time, but doing Van Morrison shows in different places, which has been a great honour, because Van Morrison's a very, very talented guy, as you know.
I played with, I did some recording with a band called UFO, a guy called Phil Mogg. I did that, just a couple of tracks, but it was enough, and it gives you gave me a leg up onto the next thing. I played with a band from Liverpool called the Icicle Works, a singer-songwriter called Ian McNabb, and I got to tour. That was probably one of the first times I came to Europe, which was a great experience, because I'd never played outside of Manchester, or the UK anyway. I did that. I played with a band that was signed to A&M Records called Heartland, and we were kind of like a Bon Jovi kind of band, but a little bit too late. Grunge was kicking in at the time, and but it was great experience. Everything's really good experience,
How was that? How was that to play with those big stars?
Well, I suppose a dream come true, but also a great education, because to play with people like that, you learn so much playing with people who are, I suppose, more experienced and better than you, and I suppose that would be a tip for young people coming into the blues now. It's important to try and play with lots of different people in different styles. And playing with Van Morrison, yeah, that was certainly a formative experience for me.
We played from the 60s onwards with people like Jack Bruce from Cream and Brian Ferry from Roxby, you know, a long time, because we've been playing a long time. As a band, we were together a long time anyway, but instead of playing like session guitar players and session drummers, we played as a session band with all these people. So we had our own things with all the American guys, you know, we would be backing all these American guys, B.B. King, people like that, and Buddy Guy, and you know, the sort of really great blues artists, but as a band instead of individuals. So it was, we became known for that, and it made it a bit more difficult. When we brought out albums of our own, we kept then touring with another American guy or whatever, and it took a long time to get our own thing out there, you know.
Oh, love in the morning, love every day, love till the undertaker takes me away. I got an option on you, baby. Got an option on you, baby. Got an option on you, baby. But it's not too late for me to back out. If I can't take it with me, I'm not gonna go. I'm a real selfish mother, I think you should know. Got an option on you, baby. Got an option on you, baby. Got an option on you, baby. But it's not too late for me to back out.
I'm sure that you have a lot of memories from these 25 years.
Many. You want some in particular? Oh my word. I suppose one of the things that stands out over the years is early on when I started playing with Norman, we spent a lot of time touring with some of the American blues people, and we really value now having worked with those people, because a lot of those guys just aren't around anymore. You know, we worked with some of the people who, when I was growing up, I was listening to people like Lowell Fulson and Champion Jack Dupree, old-time blues guys, and I actually got to play with these people, which was a real pleasure. And I suppose we think now, young blues musicians coming onto the scene now don't have that opportunity. So I suppose we think we were very, very lucky to be able to play with those people.
You know, they give you a leg up, you know, they help you get on. I started off playing just in pubs, which is where most of us start, and then you get a little bit lucky and you get to play with, you know, in bigger places. I play with sort of famous bands, different styles, punk bands with the Buzzcocks, which was fantastic.
When we first started to play, it's not like now where you go on YouTube and see all these things and you can learn to play, even learn a solo off YouTube. There was no one to learn off. You had to just, with friends, say, oh, you know, I could play this, can you, you know, and we were all learning at the same time. Mm-hmm. And in fact, there's 3 or 4 of us that learnt to play guitar all at the same time, and we all make the same mistakes and all make the same greatness. We all learn everything together. You could not tell one apart, you know. We all played the same chords wrong, you know. It's really strange, but it was great fun. It was very slow. It was a very slow process, but you learn very thoroughly. Now people learn, you know, quick, but there's no, it's not here. It's all here and not here.
Break it down.
Why blues?
My brother was crazy about blues music. I really liked the pop music. I was playing all this sort of stuff, you know. But what he kept telling me about these guys, and he got a few bands together playing blues and asked me to join, and I just played the way I play, and it was more bluesy than they played, and that was it. I always played it. I always played like a blues guitar player, even before I'd heard blues.
And it sounds great. I can't wait to hear it tonight.
I hope it sounds great. I hope it sounds great.
What do you think about the future of blues scene?
I think from what I'm seeing in Serbia, the future of the blues scene is very good. There are a lot of young people coming to the concerts in Serbia, which is good. And I think it's important that in the blues, it's important to have a crossover between blues and rock, blues and jazz, blues and hip hop, and all those kind of different forms of music seem to be growing up well. So I think the blues has a good future.
I try and play blues properly, rather than like a rock drummer. I try and play it like a blues drummer would do. I try to do that now. That's my kind of focus.
Is that true that people called you a rhythm machine?
I hope so. Are we talking about drums still? Yeah. I think. Yeah. I don't know. I like that term. That's good. Yeah.
You have some favorite nickname that people call?
Well, one of my favourites is we play with Larry Garner, who's a blues man from Louisiana, and he calls me Caffeine Slim. I like the slim bit, obviously. He calls me Caffeine Slim because I'm a big coffee drinker.
Can you tell me something more about your tour dates and everything? How many gigs do you have per month?
Per month?
Per year, I don't know.
Maybe 150, 200 a year, maybe.
How did you make it?
We love it. We love doing it. I mean, you really need to like everything about it. If you don't like travelling, it's a really bad job. But we really enjoy meeting different people, getting drunk with different people. No, we just really like seeing the different environments. You know, it's always like if you treat it like a holiday with a gig, it's really good. That's the way to think about it. You know, when you play, it's serious. When you don't play, it's not serious at all.
I really enjoy it. And I get to spend time with my mates, you know, and we just have a really good time. And so we'll come off stage and we'll be a little bit, but and you might think, oh God, I've got to do this again tomorrow. But by the time tomorrow comes around and you sit down and you start playing, it's kind of, you don't even think about being tired. You know, you just do it, and the adrenaline probably kicks in, and we just have a really good time when we play. Do
you pick girls for backstage every time after gig, or
all the time? All the time. Oh God, you know, there's just kind of there's a non-stop line of women just craving to get in the dressing room. It's terrible.
That's hard life.
That's life. You know, it's so hard.
Do you have some special story, or I don't know, some interesting that you will never forget?
One of my favourite stories was Paul Jones from Manfred Mann band, and this woman says to him, "Paul, my favourite song of yours was The Mighty Quinn." And he said, "Well, actually, that wasn't me. I'd left then." And she said, "No, it was you."
You were wrong. We played in Norway, and it was a great gig. We were a little bit late, I seem to remember, but we not through our fault. You know, it was a very long day, and we got to the gig, and we did the gig. We had a great time, and we were around the CDs. People were buying CDs, and a young lady came up, and she was asking people to sign stuff, and she came to me and asked me to sign, if I'd sign something for her. And I said, yeah, and I'm waiting for her to get a piece of paper out or a CD, but she didn't. She just pulled her bra over to one side, and I kind of went, really? And she said, yeah. So I said, right, okay.
Your hands were shaking or no?
Oh, absolutely not. I was steady.
Oh, that's good.
Steady Eddie. I kind of tried to, anyway, I tried to be slightly artistic, you know.
How do you spend your free time together?
Together? Well, we go sightseeing. We do what everybody does. We go, we go to a cafe, have a beer, have a look round, check that. I mean, the women in Serbia. I mean, there are no fat women like in England. No, England. I don't know what they eat, but no, we just really hang out, have a look round, and maybe go to some historical thing. Whatever. It's not difficult to pass the time if you're with the right people.
It feels a little bit odd when we have, for me it does anyway, when we have a day off, because I feel like we should be doing, I should be doing something, and playing. I don't like too many days off.
What inspired you the most in music, and who is your biggest support during all these years?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I just like to do the best job that I can. I play with some really, a really great band, and I suppose I'm inspired every day when I'm playing. I only have to look at the audience. I see the audience and see their reaction, and that inspires me. I want to play for those people and make sure they have a good time. So that inspires me. Other drummers inspire me. I'm kind of always learning something new. There's always something new to learn. I never stop learning stuff. And through doing this gig. With the Norman Beaker band, Norman always turns me on to something new, drummer-wise. I don't know a lot of blues drummers. I know some blues drummers, but Norman will know drummers from, way back. And, with a sort of band who kind of likes to sort of do that original blues, not the kind of rocky Joe Bonamassa kind of blues.
Oh, he's good.
Yeah, we like to. I suppose we're a bit more traditional.
Can you tell me something more, please, about your new album? But how long did you create it?
Well, it took nearly 2 years, only because we had to keep stopping to record. In that time we did another 3 albums with different people. So every time we had to keep going back and recording them one by one. But it was we just wanted to do a mix. It was John, the Price bass player, and myself, and we just did it, the two of us, like that, just because we just wanted to try a few different things. And it took longer than Sgt. Pepper in the end. It was meant to be like just a duo album, but the songs got more and more interesting. We thought, we'll play a bit of keyboard, and it took a long time, but only, as I say, because we were running out of time or to go on tour.
What do you think about new wave, blues
like
bands,
the Joe Bonamassa kind of thing? Yeah. We always have this thing. There's always been those sort of. I always think Joe is more. We like all these people, but I always feel that Joe is much more to the rock end of things. With the blues sort of feeling, but with the rock end of it. Like Gary Moore, when he was playing the rock things, and then he went back to playing blues stuff. So it was still the rock thing over a blues song. I find that that's a bit more. Whereas I'm a bit the opposite. I play more in the blues thing, but play some of the rock stuff. You know what I mean? So there's room for everything.
Who could be your successor? Can I be your successor here in Serbia?
I'm sure. Yeah. I'm only just here. Yeah. Too good looking though. I was something like that maybe 30 years ago. Yeah, you should be the successor, why not?
Okay, we got a deal.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I'm drifting just like a ship out on the sea, drifting, baby, like a ship out on the sea.
This isn't your first time in Serbia, right?
No, I came last year with Norman, and we did a few dates, festivals and that kind of thing. It's been interesting.
What was the first impression?
Very positive. I suppose we didn't know what to expect, because we haven't toured this part of the world before, but very, very positive. I was impressed by how people are knowledgeable about the blues and how people are keen to see the music that we're playing, and that was really nice.
It's not like in the news, totally.
I guess not. I guess not.
We came here last year, about October, November last year, and we did some gigs in Belgrade. I can't remember the names of the places, to be honest with you, but it becomes a bit of a blur. I just remember, and they were great gigs, and we had a great time in Serbia last time.
I'd love to come here more often. It gets me away from home as well, which is good.
How was last night in Belgrade?
It was really, really good. Yeah, it was fantastic. It was a really good atmosphere, because it was quite a straight, sort of biggish place, but it was a really good atmosphere. You know,
we do a song that we recorded in Belgrade for the Attic sessions, which you can find on YouTube. And we did a song, and it was a very small studio. And at that time we had the keyboard player with us, Nick Steed, and Kim Nishikawa, who plays saxophone when we come out as a 5-piece band. And but at that point we had to keep it kind of quiet, and it was a bit tight. So I played like a sort of like a conga pattern on a snare drum, and we do that, and that's kind of worked its way into the live set. And I sometimes do a solo like that, which is a little bit different. It's through watching John Bonham. You know, it's like my little homage to John Bonham.
I'm just another number making up a line, but I'm not going to take this stagnation of my mind. And it's hard to be somebody nobody gives you any worth.
The people have all been very warm and friendly and gracious towards us, which is really nice, because we didn't know what to expect. But yeah, people have been really nice.
Would you like to change something?
I can't think of anything. I would like to see the Serbian people being more financially well off. I suppose we see a great, as we travel around, seeing a great mixture of people who have a lot of money, and maybe a lot of people that don't have a lot of money. I suppose it would be nice to see Serbia do well.
Well, I like everything about it, really. You know, I mean, obviously I'm not being everywhere, but the places that we see, you show good English football. That's good. I can watch with football. The food is I like the food. As I say, the women, the beer, the music scene,
Everything.
publicity, which is really good, which you have really good. I mean, the amount of paper, interviews and radio and people like yourself, it's fantastic. You know, because in England we don't have much of that. You know, unless it's Eric Clapton or whatever, they don't do a lot of publicity for things. You know, they leave it to the public to go and just find out. You know, so I mean, the more you can do for things like this is great. You know, it gives credibility to the music, really.
What is most important for success of one band?
I think you really need to believe in what you're doing. I think that's the main thing. If you just try to be successful, you know, that's the goal. I don't think that works. I think you accidentally become successful is good. When you just play and people like what you play, and then you become successful. That's the perfect way. I mean, a lot of these programs like X Factors and stuff like that, you say, what do you want to be? Oh, I want to be famous. They don't say they want to be a great singer or a great musician. They want to be famous. That's all they want. And we never started wanting to be anything other than just playing music.
Yeah, yeah.